Real quick, before we begin, I'd like to give a massive shout out to all the homies on Patreon who chose to support the cult and keep the lights on. If you want more information on how to support this channel and get your name up here with these fucking chads, check out the video description. Bloodboil has two phases. While the mechanics are simple in this fight, they are unforgiving, making this boss very easy to wipe to. This fight is literally all about positioning and threat. If you don't get it right, you will wipe. All of your DPS need to stay behind all three of your tanks, much like Void Reaver. Starting with your tanks, you will need all three of them for this fight. This boss has three mechanics that make you tank swap. The main one to worry about is a stacking debuff that does a ton of damage and reduces a tank's armor. Do not take any more than 7 stacks, 6 stacks if your healers are sus. It's important that off tanks also try and maintain a few stacks as well, so that they have some threat building up because the boss is taunt immune. When you need to tank swap, have the main tank stop attacking or eat and eject, which will knock him back and reduce his threat, or just bop him. Next is ranged DPS. Start by making 3 groups out of your ranged players. To simplify things, we just use the mage group, the warlock group, and the hunter group. However, in the hunter group, do not have melee in it because they don't need to be running back and forth from the boss to the blood boil spot. So instead, just have a couple healers go instead of those melee. The reasoning for the 3 groups is that every 10 seconds, the boss will spit out blood boils that go to the furthest 5 people from him. These blood boils stack, however, you do not want them to. So have one group step back to catch the boils. When they go out, rotate the next group back until the next set of boils go out. Then the third group goes back, so on and so forth, until 5 sets go out. Phase 2 will begin after that. Phase 2, the boss will simply fixate on one person with Fell Rage, while also buffing that person with his own Fell Rage. He will then charge over to you and commence to clapping your cheeks. It's easy to see who he's fixated on, and just simply have your raid move away from him and your healer spam heal that target, while he also is popping Hellstones, potions, Nightmare Seeds, whatever else that you can do to keep yourself alive. During this phase, everyone else in the raid does not have to worry about threat thanks to a debuff called Insignificance that everybody gets. So save lust and cooldowns for this phase and pump. It's important in both phases that nobody outside the tanks be in front of the boss or you will die to one of his frontals. Healers don't have too much to worry about in phase 1, besides keeping the tanks and blood boil targets up. However, transitioning to phase 2 and phase 2 itself is some of the most healing intensive situations in the game. Pop all your cooldowns when going into phase 2, watch your target to see who he's fixated on, and have a priest power word shield him while the other healers max rank spam into him. Spam chain heal and circle of healing on the blood boil targets. Good luck and peace.